Alright, Pretender here, and I'm finally here with the final build guide for the last character of 2.4, and that is Sparkle. Sparkle will be rerunning on the second half along with Xiaochu's first run. And so today I'm here with the build guide that's going to take you over her Kit, Eidolons, best Lightcone options, Relic options, and stat recommendations. I now have a full build guide for every single 2.4 character. Yunli has been out, Wopo has been out, Xiaochu has been out, and now you're finally watching Sparkle. So if you are interested in any of the 2.4 characters, I do have a build guide for every single one of them. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Before I get into the video, drop a like, drop a sub, hit the bell icon for more videos like this, and let's get straight into it. So Sparkle is a quantum character following the path of Harmony. Her basic attack deals quantum damage equal to 100% of Sparkle's attack to a single target enemy. Her skill increases the crit damage of a single target ally by 24% of Sparkle's crit damage plus 45% for one turn, and at the same time advances forward this ally's action by 50%. When Sparkle uses this ability on herself, the action advance effect will not trigger. Her ultimate recovers 4 skill points for the team and grants all allies Cypher. For allies with Cypher, each stack of the damage boost effect provided by Sparkle's talent additionally increases by 10%, lasting for 2 turns. For her talent, while Sparkle is on the battlefield, additionally increases the max number of skill points by 2, so instead of having up to 5 skill points, you can have up to 7. Whenever an ally consumes 1 skill point, all allies damage dealt increases by 6%, and the effect lasts for 2 turns and can stack up to 3 times. And then remember, with the ultimate, that can additionally increase by 10%. For technique, using this technique grants all allies misdirect for 10 seconds. Characters with misdirect will not be detected by enemies, and entering battle in the misdirect state recovers 3 skill points for the team. For bonus traces, her A2, when using basic attack, additionally regenerates 10 energy. Her A4, the crit damage boost effect provided by the skill will be extended until the start of the target's next turn. And her A6 increases all allies' attack by 15% when there are 1, 2, 3 quantum allies on the team, additionally increases quantum type allies' attack by 5, 15, 30%. So everyone gets a 15% unconditional attack bonus, but the next part only applies to quantum characters. This does not apply to her. So on a mono quantum team, let's say if you have Zele, her, Bushwan, and someone like Silverwolf, you're getting the full 30%. If you take off one, you're getting 15. If you take off another, you're getting 5. But that part is pretty negligible, so you don't have to worry about that. For Eidolons, her E1, the Cypher effect granted by the ultimate lasts for 1 extra turn. All allies with Cypher have their attack increased by 40%. Her E2, every stack of the talent's effect allows allies to additionally ignore 8% of the target's defense when ignoring damage, which is absolutely broken, by the way. For E4, the ultimate recovers 1 additional skill point. The talent additionally increases the max skill points by 1, meaning now with the ultimate, instead of getting 4, you get 5 skill points back, and instead of having up to 7 skill points, you can have up to 8. And then her E6, the crit damage boost effect provided by the skill additionally increases by an amount equal to 30% of Sparkle's crit damage. When Sparkle uses skill, her crit damage boost effect will apply to all allies with Cypher, so anyone with Cypher will get that crit damage, which is pretty insane. When Sparkle uses her ultimate, any single ally who benefits from her crit damage boost will spread that effect to allies with Cypher. Now, moving on to Sparkle's best Lightcones, her best one is obviously going to be her own signature Lightcone, giving her a 32% increase to crit damage, which is going to be nice for her buff. And at the start of the battle, the wearer gains Mask for 3 turns. While the wearer has Mask, allies have their crit rate increased by 10% and crit damage increased by 28%. For every 1 skill point the wearer recovers, including skill points that exceed the max limit, they gain a stack of Radiant Flame, and when you have 4 stacks of Radiant Flame, all the stacks are removed and you gain Mask for 4 turns. So from all fronts, this Lightcone is being absolutely just the best by far and none, giving you a 32% increase of crit damage, so a better buff. Now you're also being able to give crit rates to your allies and additional crit damage, and it is really easy to recover skill points from her. Every 1 skill point will give you a stack, and her ultimate is 4, so you can just get that through the ultimate, and that's an easy mask for easy uptime. Another great option is actually Bronia's signature Lightcone, giving you a 10% increase to energy regeneration rate, and every time you do use an ultimate on an ally, you recover 1 skill point. This effect can only be triggered once every 2 times the wearer uses their ultimate, so the first time you use it, you get a skill point back, the second time you won't, the third time you will, fourth time you won't, and so on. When the wearer uses a skill, the next ally taking action except the wearer deals 30% more damage for 1 turn, and as she does do action forward, that is very easy to get. So this Lightcone is also very good. Now the rest of the options I'm going to mention are 4 stars, so every one of them are going to be displayed as 5. And the first and the best one is going to be Past and Future. When the wearer uses their skill, the next ally taking action except the wearer deals 32% increased damage for 1 turn. Since you are using the skill for an action forward, that is going to be the ally that's most likely going next, assuming everything is tuned properly. So they're getting a free 32% increased damage dealt, so this Lightcone is very good. Another good option is Dance Dance Dance. When the wearer uses their ultimate, all allies' actions are advanced forward by 24%. So this is really good for the most part, but if you are doing some specific tuning things, then it can be a bit of an issue. But if you're not worried about that, or you're not doing anything specific for speed tuning, then this Lightcone is really good. And then the last Lightcone is Planetary Rendezvous. What it does is after entering the battle, if an ally deals the same damage type as the wearer, damage dealt increases by 24%. This is only good if you are running her on a Quantum team. As Sparkle herself is Quantum, the only other characters that will benefit would be other Quantum characters. So if you are running her with someone like Jade, which is possible, if you are running her mainly with Zele or QQ, especially QQ because the skill point things with Zele is also insanely good with her, then you can make use of this Lightcone, otherwise you don't want to use it. And now for Sparkle's best relics, her best one is actually going to be the 4-piece of the Hackerspace, the 2-piece giving you a 6% increase to speed, and the 4-piece, when the wearer uses their ultimate on an ally, speed increases for all allies by 12% for 1 turn. As I mentioned with the Dance Dance Lightcone, if you do have some specific speed tunings, it can be a bit of an issue, but if you don't, or you're accounting for it, then it's really good, and for the most part, it's going to be the best regardless of the situation. But if you cannot do 4-piece of the Hackerspace, you can combine that with another survivability set because you do want to get the 2-piece of the speed bonus from Hackerspace because it's going to be really helpful. And so combining the 2-piece of Hackerspace with something like 2-piece of the max HP set or 2-piece of the reducing damage set, the 2-piece on the max HP set giving you 12% max HP for more survivability, or the reduced damage taken set giving you a 8% damage taken reduction, which is going to help you survive a few more hits. So having the 2-piece of the Hackerspace combined with that and one of these will help you with survivability and will also help you with speed. And now for Planet Ornaments, the best one you're going to want to run is actually going to be Broken Keel, as she is a crit support, so practically anyone you're going to be running her with will be a crit DPS, so they will benefit more from Broken Keel, giving you a 10% effect res increase, and when you have 30% or higher effect res, you get a crit damage increase for all your allies by 10%. So with all the crit damage and buff she provides, this, when you do have 30% or higher effect res, gives you an additional 10% crit damage, so that's even more damage you can get. But if you do not have Broken Keel, Ageless is still fine. The 12% max HP for more survivability will be helpful, and when you do have 120 speed or higher, all allies' attack increases by 8%. And for the most part, everyone you're using with her will benefit from attack percent as well. Obviously there are very few exceptions, but for the most part they can benefit from this as well. And then the last Planet Ornament, this also just depends if you are running her on a Quantum team. If you are running her on a Quantum team, the Penacony set is going to be really good, giving you a 5% increase to energy regeneration rate. It also increases damage by 10% for all other allies that have the same type as the wearer. So as again, you would be running someone else that is Quantum, Zele, Jade, QQ. But again, if you aren't running her with another Quantum character, this does become useless. So you definitely want to avoid it if you're not. But if you are, it becomes one of the best options you can do. And now, for the main stats on the Relics. For the body, you want to have crit damage because you want to have as much in order to have the best amount of crit damage buff provided to your allies. For the feet, you want speed. For the orb, you want HP percent for survivability. And on the rope, you want energy regeneration rate. For these substats, you want to focus on speed until you at least have breakpoint, but this sort of does depend on what you're wanting to do. Since there are a few ways to use Sparkle, you can have the 1 to 2 less speed than your main DPS, or you can have the Hyper Carry 160 speed, which is the more recommended one. Or you can also just do a general one where you just have breakpoint speed because you're not too into that hyper optimization. But for the most part, most people won't be doing the 1 to 2 less speed, so you mainly want to focus on to at least having breakpoint and then having as much as possible. If you're able to get to 160 speed, that's going to be really good. And then past that, you obviously want to get more crit damage, because more crit damage, the better the buff you'll get. And if you are running Broken Keel, you definitely want to make sure you do have 30% effect res, just so you are getting the bonus. And then anything past that is just survivability. So once again, speed until breakpoint mainly recommended, or as much as possible, just so you can get to 160 speed. If you're able to get 160 speed, you'll definitely notice the difference because 160 speed Sparkle is really good. Past that, a lot more crit damage for a better bonus, and if you are running Broken Keel, 30% effect res, and then anything past that is just for more survivability. So HP percent, defense percent, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that is the full build guide for Sparkle. It is a lot easier than you think to build her, so there really isn't much to talk about. Her kit isn't super long and all that stuff, so it's really easy just to get it. You just want to have a Sparkle, a lot of crit damage, and then speed, and then boom, you're done. Now you have this insanely good buffer. And so anyone that did miss her, I definitely would recommend trying to consider getting her, because if I didn't have Sparkle, I honestly don't know how much fun I'd be having on this game, because Sparkle has made so many teams so fun. My free-to-play as hell Dotang hits numbers as if he wasn't free-to-play. She is just so good, so I definitely would recommend considering it. But again, let me know if you guys are going to be summoning for Sparkle. I'm sure a lot of people are going to, because she is really good with like Acheron and just practically any single DPS that is crit-based. But yeah, let me know if you guys are summoning. Hope you guys found the guide helpful. Peace out.